So for this tutorial, I just want to highlight a few more features you might find useful as you're putting together a video. And I want to go ahead and highlight some of these different things up here and let you know how I use them, especially for review videos. So first with the videos, the other things I sometimes will use would be something like color correction. And so, you can play with the saturation if you like, brightness, contrast. They're pretty, I guess I use the word harsh, controls. I'll use them sparingly, but occasionally they'll come into play for whatever reason. Maybe the lighting was a little strong that I was using and I want to take it down or take it up. So it certainly can help. And then these, as far as video filters here, you can play around with these, but as far as for a general review goes, I haven't found that there's really much here that I've used. It's more for, I think fun and effect. But there's things like vignettes and things that, might be fun to try or experiment with. But yeah, the color controls would really be the only other thing other than the video action that I'll use for review videos. The audio, I use this quite a bit just with my particular mic. And so to use the audio, you want to actually be clicking on your audio. You can adjust the volume up, so it'll be louder output. This is almost double what it was initially. Sometimes I will do mix input. Well, actually, I do this all the time with my one mic, my Audio-Technica mic, because it just gives a mono signal. And so when you go to export the video, it'll just come out of one speaker. But if you click on this, it'll go ahead and mix input to mono, and even though it's a mono sound, it'll come out of both speakers. So if you ever have a mic or recording situation where it does that, it only records out of one side, then you can use this to at least when you go to export it, it'll be a mono sound. It's not stereo sound, but at least it's coming out of both speakers. Removing background noise, I use this for my mic too, and you can adjust how much it does that. But if you ever have a little bit of that static in the background or something to that effect, you can go ahead and click that. Now, one thing to keep in mind is if you're adjusting the audio, this one's highlighted, but this one isn't. So when I go over here, all these changes I made didn't get made to this one. So that's where maybe highlighting all the audio at once, or just remember if you do one to do the other. Otherwise, let's say you adjust the output to 160, then you go over here, it's at 109, your volume will be going up and down. So just keep that in mind as you're making any edits there. Screen recording properties, I really don't do anything with this. Same thing with callout properties, I don't do anything there. Annotations, same thing, I don't really use that. Text, yes, use this one quite a bit as I was showing you. Backdrops. The margin, I didn't show you that before. Let me go back to our actual text here. So this, oops, let me click on one. There we go. The margin is that area around, okay. So the area around the actual text now. So we can increase it, decrease it. So that's what that does there. And then also I didn't show you can do opacity. So you can see, let's say, make it a little more obvious there, something like purple. You can see how now the review on the bottom is fading through because we changed the opacity. So opacity is definitely something I'll use sometimes for an effect. So that could be kind of neat to play around with. And I think I covered the other ones there. And then the media. Every time you add a picture, let's go ahead and add another picture. You can see it just showed up in our media folder here. And then you can drag these. You can add the picture down here again. You can add this picture over here. You can delete it, but they're always here. The other thing you can do is you can open. You can use the file and open things in here, but I like to go ahead and just drag. That's I find a real easy, convenient way to do that. So you can also delete them out of this, but it says I have 2 clips in the timeline. When you press OK, these will also be deleted. So not only deleted it here, but also deleted it out of here. Sometimes that's helpful. You'll use some images or clips and you just don't want them. You can just delete them out of here as well. So that kind of is a little bit of an overview of some of the additional just features as far as what I'll use. And then let me go ahead and I'll have a couple other things to show you. So I will do that in the next tutorial.